This course is just so sweet. It has this like prestigious feel to it. What's going on, everybody? Kelly, and I'm bringing you a brand new video today. So today we are actually going to be playing the back nine out at Idlewild. So we are actually out here today playing the pro layout for the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Actually, right now we are +2 through the front nine, which is really great actually. So we're gonna look to shoot pretty well out here on this back nine and hopefully stay somewhere towards the even mark. Been having a great time out here at Idlewild. This has been a video that I've been wanting to do for a long time now. So we're gonna jump into hole 11 here and hopefully pick up some pars and some birdies out here. Hole 10 out here at Idlewild. It's gonna be, I wouldn't say dead straight ahead because there's so many trees here, but pretty straight ahead. Actually, this is gonna be, I believe, it's gonna be a par 3, 360 feet. I'm gonna actually take the Undertaker here, just try and push something pretty straight through this gap here and have something end up there so that we can get a look at the basket here. Didn't give that thing enough height actually. It flew pretty nice and then had a kick back towards the left, so we'll be in the middle of the fairway there to start out the round. So much for tuning in here today and hanging out with me here on this back nine out at Idlewild. Man, this course has been amazing so far. We're actually not shooting too bad either, only +2 through the front nine right now playing the Disc Golf Pro Tour layout, so that's super cool. We're gonna be in the middle of the fairway here on hole 10, so we're gonna try and get up and down to save a par here. Long look at a par here. Oh, that was so close. All right, we'll actually start the round off with an unfortunate bogey. Didn't get off the tee very well there. The approach shot wasn't too bad actually, and we gave the jump putt a pretty good run. So that'll put us at +3 right now going into hole 11 of the Disc Golf Pro Tour layout here at Idlewild. So let's see what we can actually get into here. All right, hole 11 is going to be a par 3, 200, and I believe it said it was like 215 feet, I believe. So it's a shorty here. This is the one that James Conrad aced, I believe. All right, I really want to make sure that we get it there. So I would typically throw a putter here, but I got to be a little bit more accurate. I wanted something a little bit faster, not too much faster. So we're going to go with the Buzz here. This is the 4x Buzz. This thing is so cool. I've had this thing for a long time. Just put it recently in the bag with the switch over to Discraft. So I'm going to throw this straight at the basket, hopefully get something really close. I don't even know what we just hit. I thought that was gonna creep up to the actual like front of the basket right there and hopefully have a good putt at it. I mean, we'll still have a look at the basket, but I thought that was gonna be a little bit better actually. So like I mentioned, I'm actually switching over the bag to pretty much all Discraft. There's only a few discs left in the bag that are actually not Discraft, such as like my DD3, my Firebird. Those are some of the ones that it's more difficult to just put something in and replace those. So we're gonna have to work a couple new things into the bag there for that. But other than that, the bag is coming along really well actually. Really liking all the Discraft discs that I've been throwing so far, especially that 4x Buzz. Hopefully we can convert on a birdie after a pretty good drive. Big birdie putt, putting us back at +2 right now. Absolute monster of a hole. It's going to be 672 feet, par 4. You're going to want to push this gap and have something just slightly hyzer off right towards the end right there. So you have an additional easy shot to get up and down at the basket. So I'm going to take the Andrew Marweed Firebird here, just push something out on this left side, have a little bit of hyzer back towards the right just at the end there so that we can have an easy second shot here on this difficult par 4. Gonna have to see where we actually ended up. It's looking like not in a good spot. Hopefully, ideally, not too far off in the right rough actually. Otherwise, we're gonna be pinched off and probably just have to pitch out to get back onto the fairway. That's something about being out here at Idlewild. If you get off the fairway at all, it's pretty tough to get back out and have any type of look at the basket actually. So we're gonna see where we actually ended up here. Gotten some sort of tree kick actually or something like that, because we're gonna be right there, right in the middle of the fairway actually. Basket's gonna be tucked down just into that bunch of trees down there. I'm actually not sure how far we are from the basket right now. I'm gonna take the prototype passion here, just put something out there, hopefully pretty straight. Hopefully have something end towards the basket. Oh, I hit a tree just at the end. Basket's finally right there. We ended up well short of the basket, but that's okay. It's a quick layup to the basket. $13 is going to be a par 4, 484 feet. You have a Mando to go through right through there, so that's where we're going to want to end up through first and foremost, and then push something out there into the fairway. Hopefully have a look at an easy up and down here. Actually gonna go with the TI Undertaker here. Just want something pretty accurate to make sure we make it through this initial Mando here and just get something out to that fairway that you're seeing quite a bit down that way. We really need to get out there, otherwise it's gonna be a tough up and down. Just a little bit too much hyzer at the end. I put it off to the right just a little bit too much. Probably could have turned it over just a little bit more, but we'll take a look and see. Hopefully got a look at something there. This was actually one of the holes that I was really looking forward to playing here today. This is one that I saw actually out while I was at the Disc Golf Pro Tour stop this year, and I was really close to the pros actually throwing, which is super cool. Made the Mando here, so super stoked on that. We're gonna have to see how far we pushed off to the left actually, but I'm gonna show you guys this Mando up and close real quick. You can see how tight the Mando actually is here, so super stoked to actually hit that. So I actually think we ended up in the OB, unfortunately. You're gonna see the disc there. The sign says out of bounds right there. I'm just assuming that this is actually out of bounds when they play it here on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. So we'll just take it from back here where it probably went out. So I'm just gonna take the drop from right about here. So right now we're actually shooting for 3. We need to get a good approach shot here. All right, that's unfortunate, but we'll move on. You see the basket right there. Now we're gonna be right there, so we're gonna have a tough jump putt towards the basket. All right, we'll take a 5 on that hole, unfortunately, with that OB. I thought that drive was pretty good, actually. It seemed like it was pretty good, but just kicked off into the OB. Tough approach shot as well. Didn't put ourselves in a good look to save the par there. But we'll move on to the next hole. This course is absolutely amazing. Just like look at this place, like creeks just running through here. You got the bridge to get over to the green. It is just so sweet. I am so stoked to actually be out here right now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're gonna move on to the next hole, which I've never actually seen before. Well, I've seen it on coverage, but in person not seen it, since during the Disc Golf Pro Tour, you don't actually get to come back to these few holes that we're about to play here right now. So let's see what we can get into. 18 par 4, 585 feet. You're gonna wanna put something just past these trees some way or another and end up down there somewhere in the fairway. This is gonna be a tough hole. All right, I'm gonna take the S-Line DD3 here. We're gonna turn something over, try and hit this initial gap here and just pump something down there as far as we can. Dang, that was looking really good. I was really hoping that was gonna stay clean because that was gonna be going quite a bit down the fairway, but either way, we'll hopefully have something down there in a decent spot. So we're actually hitting gaps pretty well out here today. Even on the front 9, we played pretty well. I'm actually really stoked on how we're getting off the tee here today. Even with the later tree kicks, that's all right. As long as we progress down the fairway here and have something to look at, some sort of approach shot with a decent amount of distance actually covered, that's ideal out here at Idlewild. So we're gonna see where we ended up here on this hole and hopefully be able to get up and down pretty easily. Basically parked the short basket. There's where our disc is. We still got a bit of ways to go down this way. All right, I'm gonna just take the zone here, try to get something up there a little bit to the flat part up there so that we'll have a look at the basket there. Hopefully that's sat. There is a little bit of water, and I believe that's OB up there, but either way, we should be all right. You guys could finally see the basket right here. Really nice looking green right here. We actually ended up just off the fairway, just a little bit there. So we'll take a look and see what we can give a run here. We got a little bit of a trick shot here, actually, so we're just gonna try and get something close to the basket. Dang it, the last tree I had to miss. We're gonna have another tough look at the basket here, actually. There we go, that's a huge putt. Let's go. 18 is going to be really uphill, actually. That's going to be a par 4. It looks like 487 feet. You're going to want to hit this initial gap right here. Just get something as far up this hill as you can. I'm going to take the Glow Passion here. This is probably going to be the most difficult hole for me out here today, actually. I struggle to get things up the hill, actually, and get the height it needs to get the distance up the hill, but we're going to try our best out here to get something just in the fairway so that we can get another par out here, or hopefully even a birdie. That would be huge out here on probably the most difficult hole for me. So I didn't give it the height it needed, but it got to where it actually needed to be. I'm actually really stoked on where we are at up in the fairway. You all don't understand how stoked I am actually to get that drive out there and in the spot it actually is in, because this is like so far uphill. I don't know if you can tell by on the camera or not, but I'll show you back where the actual tee pad is because I'm walking up here right now. We actually ended up right there, and then you could see how far back the tee pad is downhill, all the way back that way. So we're gonna see if we can get something up there pretty close to the basket now, since we're in a decent spot here, actually. I'm gonna wanna hit this gap that's like right through here, actually. Basket's gonna be way off to the right, actually. So we're gonna have to put something up there pretty far to get in a good position to maybe look at a birdie here. Gonna take the Firebird here. All right, that shouldn't be too bad, actually. All right, I'm actually gonna go back and watch this year's Idlewild round because I wanna see where the pros actually end up. I forget where they actually end up. It's probably somewhere like right where the grass starts to get super green again, but I wanna see where they actually end up because this is a super difficult hole. I'm just gonna take the Big Z Fierce and put something close. There we go, should be parked under the basket. There we go. Before we get into hole 16 here, I just want to tell you guys something that's really cool that's been happening and why the YouTube uploads have been a little more sporadic lately. It's actually because Matt and I have officially relaunched Nomadic Disc Golf. So we're super stoked on that. You guys can all head over to nomadicdg.com. Actually, check out all the things that we have in stock. We have a lot of great discs actually left available. So if you guys want to check that out, you can head on over to nomadicdg.com and pick up some cool plastic. All right, here we are, hole 16, the longest hole on the course, 969 feet, par 4. This is just the purest bomber hole that you can imagine out here. All right, we're gonna take the prototype Kong here. I just want to preface this before getting into this hole. I do not throw far at all. Like I think I maxed out at like 350 maybe with the backhand. So we're just gonna try and keep something in a fairway here, actually, and hopefully not go off to the left or the right. I am absolutely okay with that. We made it into the fairway. We'll have a nice, hopefully easy second shot here. It's actually crazy to think that like when I was here, there's a clump or like a cluster of trees in the middle of the fairway down here. Eagle literally threw the disc almost to that cluster of trees. I'll turn it around here and I'll show you guys right here. He literally threw it all the way to that cluster of trees right there. I was standing just off to the right side there. It's actually insane how far the pros actually throw. Like I said, I don't throw very far, like I mean, you saw how far I just threw there. So, but hopefully we'll have an easy second shot here. Hopefully be able to get up and down just for a par here on this hole. Just ended up right here in the fairway actually. So I'm gonna try and throw at that clump of like trees or bushes or whatever you want to call it there right now, and then have a easy approach shot towards the basket. I actually really like how this disc flew on the backhand there. So I'm gonna take the same disc again. Hopefully end up somewhere on the left side of that bush out there. All right, that thing had a nice flight out of it. I'm really enjoying that prototype Kong actually. It's flying pretty nice for the backhand. We should have an easy look towards the actually see the basket now. So to put it in perspective for you out here and how big this hole actually is, typically the pros, like I saw like Macbeth throw, Eagle throw, Drew Gibson, like all those guys. So they usually ended up somewhere like in this, there's like a little ditch right here. And now I'll point the camera back and try and see the tee pad. You can see right back there, that's where the tee pad actually was, and we're all the way back over here. So they throw so far, and when they do it too, it seems like they're not even trying. There's like a saying that I keep hearing. It's like slow is smooth and smooth is far, or something along those lines. And I've just been trying to slow things down a little bit and improve on my backhand form so that we can get a little bit more distance. If we can get more distance, I feel really, really good with most of the rest of my game right now. So we're gonna take a look and see where we actually ended up here, and hopefully have another look at getting up and down here for a par. A bit of ways to go. That's where the disc landed. Basket's gonna be down there. It's still, you still won't be able to see it. We're still going downhill here actually. So we got a full pump ahead of us. So I actually think we can disc down here and not take a full distance driver here. So I'm gonna take the prototype Onyx here. I'm gonna throw this thing off to the right just a little bit because the basket's pretty much dead straight ahead here now, downhill. So I'm gonna throw this thing out just a little bit. Nice, that should be really good actually. As long as it didn't skip too far to the left, we should be in a pretty good spot there. So we actually have an opportunity to hit a birdie here, which is huge, especially on a 969-foot hole. We're just gonna have a little jump putt to hit this birdie here. Dang it, sent it just over the top of it. There we go. All right, only 2 holes actually remain here left at Idlewild. We are still +3 going into hole 17 and 18 here, which is huge. We're gonna take a look at hole 17. This one's gonna be pretty difficult. 17, tons and tons of OB. You're gonna see the short basket right there. We're gonna be going to the long basket that you're seeing towards the back there. All right, we're actually gonna take the Jawbreaker Wasp here. There's a ton of OB on this hole actually, so we really just want something to stay safe here so that we have a good opportunity at either getting a birdie here or ending with a par. So we're gonna take a look and see what we can do here. Get safe. I think that's safe. I'm not really sure. We'll have to take a look and see once we get up there, but I'm pretty stoked on that drive actually. So I don't think where we ended up is actually OB. You'll see where I actually putt from, but either way, that's a really good drive for a mid-range. Dang. We'll take a par going into the final hole out here at Idlewild. I believe that either puts us at 3 or 2 still, so not too bad actually. That's actually a lot better than I thought I was gonna be shooting out here. But we're gonna go into hole 18 here, hopefully pick up a birdie. A hole 18 here, par 4. I think it's about 650 feet. You're just gonna wanna push something really straight up this initial gap here so that you'll have an easy second shot towards the basket to get a birdie. I'm gonna take the Jawbreaker Wasp again. I'm loving this disc right now. It just has a pretty straight flight for a Wasp actually. So I just wanna hit this initial gap here and then have a great second shot towards the basket. Don't fade too much. Didn't put enough into that actually. It faded out a little too quickly. We're gonna be off on the left side. For most intermediate players like myself, it's probably pretty easy to get pretty frustrated out here, especially with how difficult this course is if you're gonna play the Disc Golf Pro Tour layout. Just come out here and have some fun. Take it slow, like take it easy out here. I took a break actually between filming the front and the back nine here. So we're gonna look and see where we ended up on this first drive here and hopefully have somewhat of a look to get out of the woods here and into the open here on hole 18. You're gonna see how tight of a tunnel gap this still is to get out to the open. We ended up right there. That's the Jawbreaker Wasp right there. And then I threw a second shot just to see how I could do with the Luna. Pinched off, unfortunately, on this left side. I'm gonna have to flex a forehand Firebird out of this tight gap that we have here. Hopefully get something really, really close to that opening so that we can have an easy approach to hopefully get up and down for par. Probably not the best position up there, but at least we hit the gap and we're more than likely out of this initial part of this hole here. All right, you're gonna see the basket right there tucked between those two trees, just behind it, and then we're gonna be off just slightly off the rough here towards the basket. I gotta keep something super low here, play for a little bit of skip, so I'm just gonna take the Firebird again here. Not the ideal line I wanted it. It's at least out in the open, but we're gonna have a long putt to save a par there. Long look to save the par here. This would be huge though on the final hole. Alrighty, we'll take a bogey. All right, we'll clean up a bogey there to end the round here at Idlewild. It's going to conclude the back nine out here at Idlewild and the full round out here on the Disc Golf Pro Tour layout. Actually, I have had an amazing time out here playing Idlewild for my very first time. We're gonna end the round here through the hole 18, actually going +4, which is actually really huge. I really thought we were gonna be more towards the double-digit numbers out here, like +10, +11. But either way, I think we got off the tee pretty well here, which is what I was hoping for. The approaches were decent and the putting felt really good too. This course is just so sweet. I highly recommend coming out here and checking this out, and it just has this different feel to it. It just, like I mentioned in the front nine, it has this like prestigious feel to it because this is where the pros actually come out and play, and you really get to test and see how well you can stack up against the pros. But I want to thank you guys again so much for tuning in here today. Make sure that you guys go check out nomadicdg.com. We are officially back live. Make sure that you leave a like on the video, comment what you thought about the whole round out here and how well you can actually shoot out here at Idlewild, and make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you can make sure that you see more videos that we're going to be putting out here on the channel. Thank you guys again so much, and we'll see you in the next one.